Okay, so here is a mini lesson from Mr. Grotsky of how to convert within the metric system. The metric system is a very neat little system that's based on base tens. If you notice in my diagram, I have a suffix here, and this represents one of a certain kind of unit. If we have a unit for volume and have 1 liter, the liter would go here, and if we had a unit of time, we'd use second, and a unit of gram, or I should say a unit of mass, would use the gram, and of course a unit of length, we put the meter. And the suffix here means 1, and of course if you have 1 meter, you'd say you have a meter. However, many times we have more than the 1, and many times we have less than the 1. So we have these prefixes, which are words that describe how many of the suffix we have. You've heard very simply of kilometers. Okay, if you've driven up to Canada or been to Europe, you know that the unit of length there is kilometers, and you'll see that a lot of times. And kilo means 1,000, and a meter is 1, so a kilometer is 1,000 meters. So it's a nice, neat system because as we decrease by 10 or increase by 10, we have different prefixes to describe that number. So for instance, if I want to convert from, let's say, 25 hectometers into meters, I noticed that my hectometers, is 100 of a meter, or of the suffix. In this case, we're going to put the meter in. So if I want to convert from 25 hectometers to 1 meter, or how many meters are in that number like I have here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 25 hectometers, and I'm going to rewrite it up here. Okay, I'm going to take my 25 hectometers, and I'm going to use an abbreviation to make things simple. I always write the number given to me, so 25 hectometers. A number without a unit is nothing, so you have to make sure we get used to doing that. Alright, now, I'm going to get rid of hectometers. And those hectometers are going to go on the bottom. The reason why I put the hectometer on the bottom is knowing that it's going to cancel out. I want to get rid of that hectometer and I want meter, so I put meter on the top of my converting factor, which I'm building here. Okay, the question is, how does a meter relate to a hectometer? Well, for every 1 meter, is there 100 hectometers? Or if for every 100 hectometers, is there 1 meter? How do we work this out? So I know that a meter is a smaller unit than a hectometer. There's one of them, and hecto is 100. So if something is smaller, like a meter compared to a hectometer, it's going to need a lot more of them. So I know that 100 hectometers is equal to 1 hectometer, just like we just talked about 1,000 meters. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel my units to make sure I set this right, and I'm going to solve my equation. 25 times 100 is 2,500, and the unit left standing is a meter. And that's essentially what you're doing. Now you probably learned in 6th grade, hey, I start with hectometer, and I'm getting smaller, so I'm going to jump 2 places to the right. So I would move that 25 hectometers as given, knowing the decimal place is after, and I'm going to move it 2 places. And you get the same answer. People say, Mr. Grotsky, I like that way so much better. The problem with this method that you may have seen earlier is you're going to forget when you go back or go forward, and it gets confusing. And I've done this so many years to know that people confuse when to move left or right. I want you to learn how to do this method. Okay? And I've walked you through one, and we'll do one more. Let's do number 2. Now let's get something smaller. Look at number 4. We've got 10 decimeters. So I'm going to start up here, rewrite this. 10 decimeters. Alright. I'm just going to put an abbreviation. And I want to get rid of decimeters, so decimeters go on the bottom. And I want a meter, because I'm converting to meter like this. So, okay, notice decimeters are on the bottom. Now the question is, how do these guys differ? Now a deci is 1/10 of 1. Okay, so they differ by 10. So 1 is 10 times larger. Obviously, this is 10 times smaller, or this is 10 times bigger, but they differ by 10, 1 decimal place. So I know that a meter is bigger than a decimeter because deci means part of a whole. So a larger unit is going to have less numbers. So for every 1 meter, there's 10. And I keep this straight in my head. The bigger numerical value goes with the smaller unit, and the smaller numerical value goes with the bigger unit. So big to small, big to small. In this case, over here, we had a larger value, okay, and we were converting it into a smaller value. The smaller value had the bigger number. And notice something, the 25 hectometers became 2,500. Why did our numerical value get bigger? Because our unit got smaller. Over here, if you notice when we solve for this, we notice decameters cancel. 10 divided by 10 is 1. We get 1 meter. Okay? And very simply, our numerical value got smaller because our unit got bigger. Okay? So in any case, that's it for today. And that's a very simple thing. Number 1 and number 2, you should handle it. So you should try 3 and 4 on your own. And we'll see how you do tomorrow. Okay? We're done.